Good morning. It's Koi Beginner again, Dr. Johnson. What I wanted to talk to you about was two things. Well, if you're a subscriber to the Koivet or Koi Beginner website, as a subscriber, you have just been sent a link to a place where you can actually ask questions. I can't answer all the questions, but I'll be answering them here on Koi Beginner, and if the question is a little bit more advanced, I'll take it over to Koivet. I thought we could start popping videos on Koivet as well, if the information is more pertinent to those. Although I am limited on time that I can spend, I'll do the best I can. Anyway, so you've been emailed a link to the page where you can ask questions or help us figure out what subject matter we would use for KOIBEGINNER.com. Just the beginning questions that you would go, oh man, I wish I'd known that when I started this. What I wanted to talk to you about today, and I don't know if I've covered it before, is where you'd put a pond. There's kind of like three different places you could put a pond, and then one place you definitely don't want to put a pond. Don't put your pond in the low spot of your yard, because what it'll do is get runoff. Logically speaking, you'd see the water there and you'd go, oh, that'd be a perfect place for a pond. There's water there anyway. What happens is when you put your pond in the low spot, every time it rains, water comes out of your lawn with dirt and worms and fertilizers and insecticides and ant killer and all that other junk, and it gets into your pond and can also create mud clouds, mineral clouds, hazes, and that sort of thing in your pond as well. Fish don't like that. So don't put it in the low spot. Three different places to put a pond if you consider it. One would be full sun, one would be filtered sun, and the other would be no sun. And I'll kind of tell you what each one means. The no sun pond is never really going to do very well with plants. So that could be a problem, especially from the standpoint of decorating around the pond if you wanted to. Plants aren't going to thrive. Well, unless you do shade-loving plants. And shade-loving plants in the pond, they don't grow very fast, so their nitrate use is not great. Now, a pond in the shade is nice from the standpoint of sitting around it. I mean, you've got to consider that. It's a pleasant place to sit, and it's more like a glade around your pond, so that's cool. And I've seen ponds in the shade. The other thing about it is shade ponds, they're usually under trees, and trees, a lot of times, they'll shed leaves into the pond in the fall, so you end up either netting the pond or just getting the leaves out as soon as they fall in. Ugh, what a pain. I would personally, I'm lazy, I would never put my pond in the shade. For what it's worth. Filtered light is kind of a similar thing as far as leaves in the fall. The other thing about filtered light is it only allows the plants to do a little better than when they're in the shade. However, in shade and filtered light, your pond is less likely to overheat in the summer. It also won't take up very much heat in the winter, though. So I put my ponds, generally, if I can, I put my ponds in as much light as possible, and then I cope with the heat. Plants do great. You can use water lettuce and hyacinths to spread across the surface of the pond, water lilies and that sort of thing that will keep the water sort of shaded. Algae will try to grow rapidly, but that works well to keep nitrates down, and then you can beat the green water with plants. When they start thriving, the algae goes away, or water changes, or continuous water changes, which are really cool. And then when you get string algae in full sun, then you would go with a plecostomus. And I'm going to give more information on plecostomuses on Koivet.com. I've got some really cool new pictures of systems that were loaded with algae before and then after pictures. They love string algae, believe it or not. And everybody at the pet store will tell you they don't, but man, they love some string algae. So the problems with putting your pond in full sun are the heat, and you want your pond to be deep enough to where it won't just cook up, in the course of a day. If you put your pond, let's say it was an 18-inch pond or something, in Georgia weather, full sun, probably it would get too warm. Fish colors wouldn't be very good, and oxygen levels would be low, and it's likely the fish might not do well. If the pond is a little bit deeper, say 2.5 feet or deeper, and large-ish, the temperature won't be a problem. Or if you're continuously replacing a little bit of water every day, 1% per day or something like that, then it might also do a little bit to keeping the pond cooler than other people's ponds. So let's go over it one more time then. Shade ponds, leaves, tannins off the leaves when they're when they're in the trees, acorns, poor plant growth, very little algae growth, but pleasant to sit around. Filtered light ponds have a little bit better lighting, a little bit better plant work, and still pleasant to sit around. and but still leaves and acorns and all that stuff at the end of the season. And then finally, full sun ponds, which you can control everything there as far as the temperature and the plants and all that stuff. But plants boom, fish get excellent color in full sun, and overall, I think that the full sun pond, if it's got enough volume to stay kind of cool, that the full sun pond is probably an excellent choice. But it's to each his own. So that's what I wanted to cover today. I'm going to add just a couple minutes, a minute to the end of this presentation because they always truncate these, but and we'll see when it times out. I apologize if anything gets cut off, but that's why I do a recap. So thank you, and I will see you again soon.